Namaskar. Buenas tardes tengan todos ustedes. Sean bienvenidos a este evento en donde se conmemora el aniversario número 348 de la coronación de Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Agradecemos la presencia del excelentísimo embajador de la India en México, Dr. Pankaj Sharma, de su señora esposa, de la doctora Srimati Das, primera secretaria y directora del Centro Cultural Gurudev Tagore, y los oficiales de la Embajada de la India que nos acompañan. Solicito la presencia de Ankita Wakekar, tercera secretaria de la Embajada de la India, para dar inicio al programa.
Good evening, one and all present here. Today, we have all gathered here to celebrate the 348th Rajyabhishek Sohla, or the Coronation Day of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. The coronation, which was inscribed in the history of India on 6 June 1674. The coronation, which witnessed the pompous throne ascendance of the great warrior of India with grandeur. The coronation, where the sacred waters of 7 rivers, Yamuna, Indus, Ganga, Godavari, Narmada, Krishna, and Kaveri, were poured over Shivaji's head with Vedic chanting. And the coronation that marks the foundation of an era and a turning point in the history of India. But who was Shivaji Maharaj? On the auspicious day of 19th February 1630, was born an Indian ruler, a great leader, Chhatrapati Shivaji Bhosle, to the Veer Mata, or the brave mother, Jizabai Bhosle, in the fort of Shivneri in the state of Maharashtra of India. A shrewd warrior for motherland, founder of the Maratha Empire, a secular king, the one who always stood for women and their honor, the father of Indian Navy, and the one who ingrained the concept of Swarajya, or self-governance in his people, is what defines Shivaji Maharaj. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations, India is commemorating the special occasion in various centers around the world. So let's all join to pay tributes to this early freedom fighter of India, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and imbibe the learnings of his inspiring life. I would like to end by quoting one of his teachings. जगात जर यशाचा मार्ग असेल तर तो मी शोधीन. जगात जर यशाचा मार्ग असेल तर तो मी शोधीन. आणि जर नसेल तर मग स्वतः निर्माण करीन. To achieve success, if there is a way, I will find it. To achieve success, if there is a way, I will find it. And if there is no way, then I will make it. Jai Bhavani, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Muchas gracias a Ankita Wakekar por estas palabras. Solicito ahora la presencia del señor embajador, Dr. Pankaj Sharma, y la doctora Srimati Das. Por favor, sean tan amables para hacer el ofrecimiento floral a Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
ज्योति जी
सर आइए
प्लीज
सर आप कीजिए हाँ जी And Jyoti. Sir, welcome speech. Sir.
Dr. Srimati Das, Director, Gurudev Tagore, Indian Cultural Center. Shri Jyoti Ranjan Raut, President, Indian Association of Mexico. Mrs. Raut, friends from Indian diaspora, and our Mexican friends, dear colleagues from the embassy. I would like to welcome all of you to this very important celebration. It is one of the most important dates in India's annual calendar when we celebrate the Shivrajyabhishek Sohara, or the coronation of the greatest Maratha king, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. It was on this day in 1674 that he ascended to the throne of the Maratha Empire. He was known as one of the bravest warriors of India, who prided himself as the protector of religion, but was not dogmatic about it. While many portray him as a defender of Hindu faith, they ignored the fact that Shivaji stood for true acceptance of all religions and appointed people from different faiths to the highest positions in his court, reflecting the true Indian ethos and values. Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, described Shivaji Maharaj's glory in following words. Shivaji Maharaj's outstanding leadership and emphasis on social welfare has been inspiring people for generations. He was uncompromising when it came to standing up for values of truth and justice. We are committed to fulfilling his vision. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj made a mark as a valorous warrior and an outstanding administrator. He was a diplomat as well, who won many battles without lifting the sword. From building a strong navy to ushering several pro-people policies, he was outstanding in all spheres. He will always be remembered for his opposition to injustice and unfairness. I have always been deeply moved, fascinated, and awed by Shivaji Maharaj. He was a person par excellence, both as a warrior king and a noble leader for his people. But his legacy is much more than the kingdom he established or the enemies he defeated. Shivaji Maharaj has set legendary examples of exceptional leadership and visionary administrative strategies, ones that continue to be relevant even today. His coronation day is believed to be the beginning of Swarajya for India, which inspired the freedom fighters. He openly defied the foreign rulers and carved out his own kingdom. One of the largest contributions of Shivaji Maharaj was the idea of Swaraj, which he planted for the very first time in the minds of his people, giving them a singular goal and a noble purpose. Such was his awe that even the British, French, and Portuguese were present during his coronation. It was he who showed what the future of India is going to be sooner or later, a group of independent units under one umbrella, as it were, under one supreme imperial suzerainty. Shivaji Maharaj was truly the people's king. He became a king not only because of his warrior-like skills, but because of his virtues. A king who would eat with the common people, a king who would sit and talk with the common people, and a king who would personally take effort to wipe tears of common people. Qualities of such good governance, justice, and humility made him the Chhatrapati. The virtues of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj need to be imbibed in the minds of the individuals and particularly the youth. There's a lot that we can learn from him and follow in our lives, be it in ideology, a commitment for the betterment of the society, or a simple act of nurturing the underprivileged sections of the society, driving a holistic development that can benefit in the long run, is what creates a legacy. It was these qualities, the idea of Swaraj, the emphasis on ethical practice and moral living, and the fierce sense of purpose that creates the legend of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, which even today infuses zeal, enthusiasm, and valor in the hearts and minds of people. I humbly bow to him as we celebrate this important day today. Thank you, and I thank Dr. Das for arranging this program. Thank you.
Agradecemos la participación del señor embajador. A continuación tenemos una actuación cultural en alabanza a Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Baila Dafne Ceballos, estudiante del Centro Cultural de la India, Gurudev Tagore.
शिव शंकराचा तू अवतार हाती घेऊनी भवानी तलवार नर राक्षसांचा करूनी संहार धरणी मातेचा तू केला उद्धार जय देव जय शिवराया आलो तवद्वारी आरती गाया जय देव जय शिवराया आलो तवद्वारी आरती गाया नाथा अनाथा तू सामर्थ्यवंत मावळते बळ केले जिवंत राजाधिराजा तू होऊन संत जाणता राजा तू योगी श्रीमंत जय देव जय शिवराया आलो तवद्वारी आरती गाया जय देव जय शिवराया आलो तवद्वारी आरती गाया
Muchas gracias, Dafne. Es el turno ahora del señor Prasad Shinde, tercer secretario de la Embajada de la India, quien nos hablará de Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, el gran rey Maratha y la relevancia de sus virtudes en el siglo XXI. Su esposa, Prachi Shinde, hará la traducción al inglés.
नमो मातृभूमी जिथे जन्मलो मी, नमो आर्यभूमी जिथे वाढलो मी, नमो धर्मभूमी जिच्या कामी, पडो देय माझा सदा ती नमामी.
Hail motherland where I was born, hail Aryabhumi where I grew up, hail my motherland, those work fall down on my body, always with my folded hand.
परम पवित्र माझ्या या मातृभूमीला नमस्कार. सन्माननीय व्यासपीठ व येथे जमलेल्या माझ्या सर्व रसिक श्रोताओ, मी प्रसाद शिंदे आज तुमच्याशी एका अशा महान व्यक्तीबद्दल बोलणार आहे ज्यांचा मला तुम्हाला नाही तर संपूर्ण देशाला अभिमान आहे.
Greeting to this most sacred motherland of mine, the honorable ambassador and all my friends gather here.
सह्याद्रीच्या कुशीतून एक हिरा चमकला, भगवा टिळा चंदनाचा शिवनेरीवर प्रगटला, हातात घेऊन तलवार शत्रूवर गरजला, महाराष्ट्रात असा एक राजा होऊन गेला.
A diamond stone from the Sahyadri womb, saffron colored sandalwood appear on the Shivneri. He took the sword in his hand and aimed it at the enemy. He became such a king in a Maharashtra.
मित्रांनो, 350 वर्षांपूर्वी आपल्या महाराष्ट्र भूमीला एक कर्तृत्ववान वीरपुत्र मिळाला, ज्याने आपल्या स्वतःच्या पराक्रमाने, शौर्याने, धाडसाने आणि जिद्दीने होत्याचे नव्हते आणि नव्हत्याचे होते करून मुठभर मावळ्यांच्या जोरावर महाराष्ट्र भूमीवर भगवा फडकवला.
Friends, 3.5 years ago, our land of Maharashtra got a heroic son with his own prowess, bravery, courage, and stubbornness. He threw saffron on the land of Maharashtra with the help of handful soldiers.
त्यावेळी अनेक परकीय सत्ता महाराष्ट्रात धुमाकूळ माजवत होत्या. मुघलांच्या कैदेत लाखो मराठा सैनिक खितपत पडले होते. स्त्रियांच्या आबरू लुटल्या जात होत्या. अनेक बायकांच्या कुंकवांचा धनी मारला जात होता. शेतकऱ्यांच्या कोणी कैवारी नव्हता. अशा या परिस्थितीत महाराष्ट्र भूमीला हवा होता एक झंकार, जगमता पेटता अंगार. आणि अखेर ती वेळ आली. सह्याद्रीची गर्जना झाली. मानाचा मुजरा करतो शिवाजी महाराजाला, ज्यांनी मराठी मातीत भगवा झेंडा रोवला, ज्यांनी मराठी मातीत भगवा झेंडा रोवला.
At that time, many foreign power were in full swing of Maharashtra. Millions of Maratha soldiers were enraged by the Mughal captivity. Women's reputation was being robbed. Many women were being beaten to death. The farmer had no cavalry. In such a situation, the land of Maharashtra needed a jungle, a burning ember. And finally, that time came Sahyadri Road. I pay my respect to Shivaji Maharaj, who planted saffron flag in Marathi soil. Again, who planted the saffron flag in Marathi soil.
सर्वात आदर्श राजा म्हणून ओळखतात ते म्हणजे फक्त शिवाजी महाराज. याचे कारण त्यांचे स्वराज्याबद्दल असणारे प्रेम, निष्ठा, पराक्रम व निष्कलंक चारित्र्य. शेतकऱ्यांच्या भाजीच्या देठाला हात लागता कामा नये असे म्हणत शेतकऱ्यांवर जीवापाड प्रेम करणारे व परस्त्रीला आई सन्मान मानणारे शिवाजी महाराज हे एकमेव प्रजादक्ष राजे होते. शिवाजी महाराज आपल्या मावळ्यांसोबत नेहमी प्रेमाने व आपुलकीने वागत असत.
Shivaji Maharaj is known as one of the most ideal king. This is because of his love, loyalty, prowess, and the immaculate character about his self-government. No should even touch the crop of farmer. Saying this, Shivaji Maharaj was the Prajadaksha king who loved the farmer dearly and considered every woman as his mother and sister. Shivaji Maharaj always treated everyone with love and affection.
हवा वेगाने नव्हती, हवेपेक्षा त्याचा वेग जास्त होता. हवा वेगेने नव्हती, हवेपेक्षा त्याचा वेग जास्त होता. अन्याय विरुद्ध लढण्याचा इरादा नेक होता. असा जिजाऊचा शिवबा लाखात एक नव्हे तर जगात एक होता.
The wind was not fast. He was faster than the wind. The wind was not fast. He was faster than the wind. The intention was to fight against the injustice. Jizau Shuba was not one in a million, but one in the entire world.
अधिकृतपणे राज्य अभिषेक करण्याची काय गरज होती? चला त्यामागची कथा आणि कारण समजून घेऊया. परकीय शत्रूवर वचक आणि जरब बसवण्यासाठी शिवाजी महाराजांना राज्याभिषेक करून घेणे गरजेचे होते. म्हणून शिवाजी महाराजांनी राज्याभिषेक करून घेतला. राज्याभिषेक झाल्यानंतर संपूर्ण जगात त्यांना छत्रपती ही पदवी मिळाली. भारतात खऱ्या अर्थाने शिवशाहीचा काळ सुरू झाला.
What was the need for an official coronation? Let's understand the story and reason behind it. Shivaji Maharaj had the crown in order to restrain the foreign enemy. After his coronation, he received the title of Chhatrapati. The period of Shivashahi literally started in India.
विदेशी व्यापारी, इंग्रज, परकीय शासक, प्रजा असे सारे लोक राज्यांच्या राज्याभिषेक वेळी उपस्थित होते. शिवराज्याभिषेक हा केवळ राज्याभिषेक नव्हता, तर भारतातील परकीय शक्तींना तो एक धडका भडकावणारा बडाच होता. भारताकडे कुणी वाकड्या नजरेने पाहिल्यास त्याला धडा शिकवण्याची ताकद महाराजांमध्ये होती. म्हणून महाराजांच्या राज्याभिषेकला इंग्रज, फ्रेंच, पोर्तुगीज सर्वजण उपस्थित होते. महाराजांना खुश ठेवण्यासाठी त्यांनी महाराजांना नजराने भेट दिले होते. यातूनच महाराजांच्या राज्याभिषेकाचे परकीय शत्रूंना किती दखल घेतली होती हे दिसून येते.
Foreign merchant, Englishmen, foreign ruler, people were all present at the coronation of the king. The coronation of Shivaji Maharaj was not just a coronation but a lesson to the foreign power in India. The Maharaja had the power to teach a lesson to everyone who looked at India with a crooked eye. So the English, French, Portuguese were present at the coronation of the Maharaja. They gave gift to Maharaja to keep him happy. This show how much attention was paid to the coronation of the Maharaja by the foreign enemies.
भारतासाठी ही खूप महत्वाची अशी घटना होती. इतिहासात हा राज्याभिषेक याला खूप महत्व होते. शिवरायांचे प्रशासन कठोर, न्याय, लोकहिताचे, शहाणे लोकमित्र आणि दयाळू होते. शिवाजी महाराज हे स्वतः एक आदर्श नेते होते. त्याचे चारित्र्य अभेद्य होते, अगदी त्यांच्या शत्रूच्या निंदेच्या पलीकडे होते. स्वतःच्या मुलाला संभाजी महाराजांनी चूक केल्यावर त्याला शिक्षाही दिली. शिवाजी महाराजांच्या आयुष्यात अशी अनेक उदाहरणे आहेत.
This was a very important event for India. This coronation is a very important in history. His administration was strict, fair, in public interest, wise, friendly, and compensation. Shivaji Maharaj himself was an ideal leader. His character was impenetrable, even beyond the condemnation of his enemy. Sambhaji Maharaj was also punished by his own son for making a mistake. There was many such example of the Shivaji Maharaj.
अत्यंत लोकप्रिय आणि सर्व शक्तिशाली राजा असूनही तो सज्जन लोकांसमोर अत्यंत नम्र होता. त्यांना कलेची आदर केली. तो कलाकार होता, ते धाडसी होते, त्यांच्या विजयावर त्याचा विश्वास होता आणि तो रणनीतिकार होता. ते कामात निपुण होते आणि प्रत्येक कार्य उत्कृष्टपणे करण्याचे गुरुमंत्र त्यांच्याकडे होते. समर्थ रामदास स्वामींसारखे अत्यंत विवेकी व्यक्तीही शिवाजी महाराजांची स्तुती खालील प्रमाणे केली.
Despite being the most popular and all-powerful king, he was extremely humble in front of the wise people. He respected art, he was artist, he was brave, he believed in the victory, and he was strategic. He was adapted at work, and he had a guru mantra to do every task perfectly. Even a very prudent person like a Samartha Ramdas Swami praised Shivaji Maharaj as follows.
शिवराजाचे रूप लक्षात ठेवा, शिवराजांचे शौर्य लक्षात ठेवा, शिवराजांच्या पृथ्वीवरील क्षमता लक्षात ठेवा. शिवराज कसे चालले, शिवराज कसे बोलले, शिवराजाने कसे संपुदेशन केले. प्रसिद्ध रणनीतिकार, समर्थ धन्य गुणवान, सुप्रसिद्ध जाणकार राजा, सन्मानित योगी शिवराज महाराज.
Remember the form of Shivaji Maharaj. Remember Shivraj's bravery. Remember Shivraj's earthly ability. How did Shivaji walk? How Shivraj spoke? How Shivraj consulted? Famous, strategic, able, blazed, well-known, knowledgeable king and honored yogi.
आज ही परिस्थिती तशीच आहे. आजची गरज तीच आहे. आजच्या समाजात विजयाची, आत्मविश्वासाची आणि प्रयत्नाची तीच भावना आपल्या जागृत करावी लागेल. प्रत्येक व्यक्तीने शिवाजी महाराजांचे चारित्र्य, त्यांचे गुणांचे अनुकरण करणे गरजेचे आहे. आणि आजच्या समाजात राहून संपूर्ण समाजाचा आत्मविश्वास नवीन उंचीवर वाढवणे, समाजाला न्याय नियम म्हणजे लोकांच्या हिताचे नियम स्थापित करण्याची मदत करणे, शहाणे, दयाळू, समाजवादी आणि कठोर धोरणांनी चाललेले.
The situation is the same today. That is the need of the hour. In the today's society, we have to awake the same feeling of the victory, confidence, and efforts. Everyone needs to imitate Shivaji Maharaj's character and qualities. And by living in today's society, be a capable leader, not for yourself, but for the overall progress for the nation. Raising and the confidence for the whole society to a new height. Helping the society to establish a just rule. That is the rule in the interest of the people. Wise compensation with the strict policies.
आजच्या आजारांवर हाच उपाय आहे आणि तो समाजाच्या संघटनेतून निघेल. समाजाच्या सद्गुणांच्या, प्रयत्नांचा आणि आत्मविश्वासाच्या पायावर ते उदयास येईल. भूतकाळातील अशाच परिस्थितीत शिवाजी महाराजांनी केलेले प्रयत्न जिवंत उदाहरण आपल्या समोर आहे. त्या काळात ते सर्व लोकांसाठी एक जिवंत उदाहरण बनले होते. भूतकाळातील सर्व प्रयोग एकत्र आणणे, त्यांचे चुका सुधारणे आणि या अंतिम यशस्वी प्रयोगात सराव करणे हे शिवाजी महाराजांचे कर्तृत्व होते. आणि म्हणूनच त्यांचे राज्याभिषेक दिन हे संस्मरणीय दिवस आहे.
This is the cure for today's disease, and it will come out of the organization of the society. It will emerge on the basis of the virtues, efforts, and the confidence of the society. We have a living example of the effort made by the Shivaji Maharaj in similar situation in the past. He was a living example to the all people at the time. It was Shivaji Maharaj's jobs to bring together all experiment of the past to the correct his mistake and to practice them in the last successful experiment. And that is why the coronation day is memorable day.
स्वाभिमानाच्या साक्षात मूर्ती असलेले राजे आजच्या दिवशी छत्रपती झाले. तमाम पोरके झालेल्या जनताला राजा मिळाला. वडिलोपर्जित छात्राखाली नव्हे तर स्वतः मावळ्यांच्या मदतीने उभारलेले छात्राखाली शिवाजी राजे बसले आणि स्वयंघोषित नव्हे तर लोकघोषित छत्रपती बनले. जे शिवराज्य सुराज्य स्थापन करण्यासाठी राजे छत्रपती झाले, तर राज्य पुन्हा स्थापन आणि सक्षम करण्यासाठी जमेल त्या प्रकारे प्रयत्न करूयात.
Shivaji Raje. an idol to self-respect, become Chhatrapati today. All the orphan got a king. Shivaji Raje sat not under the ancestor umbrella, but under the umbrella erected by the common people themselves and become the Chhatrapati. Let's try our best to establish and follow the virtue of the king who become Chhatrapati to establish Shivrajya, good governance.
प्रौढ प्रताप पुरंदर महापराक्रमी रणधुरंदर क्षत्रिय कुलावंतस सिंहासनाधीश्वर हिंदू स्वराज्य संस्थापक राजाधिराज योगीराज पुरंदरधीशपती महाराज महाराज श्रीमंत श्री 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 छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की जय. जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki. Thank you.
Muchas gracias al señor Prasad Shinde y su señora esposa por esta presentación. Ahora, la pequeña Maya Shri, que viene en representación de la comunidad de la India en México, nos va a deleitar con una danza llamada Jai Bhavani.
इंद्रजीवी जंब पर वादवसु अंब पर रावण सर अंब पर रघुकुल राज है. पौन बारी बाह पर संबुरती नाह पर जो सहस बाह पर राम गिजराज है. गिजराज है. गिजराज है.
माऊली रे केस सावली गडकोट रावळी शिवशंकर हा मुक्तीची मंत्रणा युक्तीची यंत्रणा खड दुष्ट दुर्जना प्रलयंकर हा
सत्ताचं रक्षतो शत्रूनी खंदतो भावंड भावना संस्थापितो ऐसा युगे युगे स्मरणीय सर्वदा माता पिता सदा शिवभूपतो.
दंड पर चीता मृगशुंड पर भूषण वितुंड पर जैसे मृगराज है
तेज कमल अंश पर कन्यजनी कंस पर धूमलिच्छ वंश पर शेर शिवराज है.
जय भवानी, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी, जय शिवाजी, जय भवानी, जय भवानी, जय शिवाजी, जय शिवाजी.
Agradecemos la presencia de Maya Shri. Le pido ahora a la doctora Srimati Das, directora del Centro Cultural Gurudev Tagore, que suba y nos hable del poder de las mujeres, Rashmata Jijabai, creadora de un rey.
Namaskar. His Excellency Dr. Pankaj Sharma, embassy colleagues and IMA president and members of the diaspora. My great honor to give a talk today on Rajmata Jijau, the kingmaker, an epitome of women power in India and in the Maratha Empire. She has always been my favorite feminist in India. The Maratha Empire began with the coronation of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in 1645 and ended in 1818. Jijabai Bhosle was commonly and fondly known as Jijao or Rajmata Jijao. Most of us know her as the mother of Shivaji, the founder of the Maratha Empire. Shivaji was molded and nurtured by his mother, Jijabai, who inspired him with stories from epics. Learned to admire his mother from childhood. Naturally, Shivaji developed reverence for women. He punished those who erred against women and protected and honored the women captives during the war, though they belonged to an enemy nation. I quote, "Always hold your head high," unquote. This lesson was imparted to him by his mother, Jijabai, the warrior queen. Shivaji's name brings to our mind his dauntless spirit that could never be shaken during adversities and troubles. Shivaji stood up to challenges bravely, and Rajmata Jijao, the mother of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the Maratha king, was a feminist who believed in doing the right thing no matter what the circumstances. The world should know Jijao as the mother who nurtured her son to be Shivaji, the founder of Maratha Empire. This is because Jijao's contribution in the making of Shivaji was enormous. We really owe to Jijao because without her upbringing and the values she inculcated into the little Shivaji, we could not have got a king, a warrior like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Jijao was a very powerful Indian woman in the 16th century. She really had everything that we see in today's feminist woman. Jijabai was Shahaji Raje's wife and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's mother. When her husband, Shahaji Raje, had to move to the south as a part of his duties towards Adil Shah, the Sultan of Bijapur, Deccan region south of India, he sent Jijao with little Shivaji to Pune and declared her the Queen Regent. Pune was a wild forest then. Jijao, with the help of her council of ministers, changed the face and eventually the fate of Pune and successfully handled her duties as regent queen. This is 16th century power of women and also the power in the Maratha kingdom. She gave the best upbringing possible to a 5-year-old Shivaji, a single mother, much like today's women who stay away from husbands, who are always as a part of work and career. It is just like the modern day woman who looks after the kids and the family many times along with her full-time job. Is she not the first woman feminist in India? Jijabai stood by the side of her husband in his tussle against her own father, who was wrong, even if she had a deep affection and respect for her father, but she showed her commitment to her marriage. She was a woman with vision, far-sightedness, and was passionate about her dream of achieving freedom for all her people. Her conduct was so influential that all mothers were willingly ready to sacrifice their sons to establish freedom. She is often referred as a lioness for all the bold and brave traits that Shivaji eventually got from his mother. She was the first mentor to Shivaji, and his house was the first school, and was responsible for most of his education, having him learnt about the holy scriptures and the art of administration, and she also taught him how to read Arabic and Persian. She was a linguist. She raised Shivaji in such a manner that in an era where women were generally treated as inferior, Shivaji grew up into a man, a king, who treated every woman with immense respect, and he always kept safety of women as his top priority. Jijabai supported gender equality. Today we talk about gender equality, and she supported gender equality 500 years back and rooted it in the culture that women were not inferior but be treated as equals. Jijabai's stellar qualities like her independent nature, leadership skills, to stand up against the evil, passion for dreams, decision-making ability, and clarity of thought are some of the things that make what Shivaji Maharaj is today. All these characters were imbibed from his mother. Jijabai Bhosle was undoubtedly a great woman, a strong mother, a role model for today's women. There is much more to write about or learn from her life. Shivaji Maharaj's coronation day today reminds me of the immense power each woman has as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, and as a friend. And she has contribution to make every woman can make to prove and improve the society and give rise to strong individuals. Rajmata Jijabai was Shivaji Maharaj's inspiration and visionary. Jijabai was a warrior par excellence. She went to the battlefield. She was adept in warfare, possessing skills like horse riding, as well as mastery over the sword. Jijabai wielded a sword and decided to declare war against enemies to rescue Shivaji from the encircled fort of Panhala. She brought up Shivaji single-handedly, bringing up Shivaji in the absence of Shahaji Raje. Shahaji Raje signed the Treaty of Maul and was compelled to leave Maharashtra and go to Karnataka. Although this incident scattered her family and uprooted, Jijabai was steady. Jijabai stayed back in Maharashtra under the pretext of taking care of Pune and brought up Shivaji as an ideal son. She was a linguistic expert. She taught her grandson, Shambhaji, Urdu and Persian to help understand the enemy's plans and strategies, and it was said she was also a master of Sanskrit. Barely 12 days after witnessing the golden moment of Shivaji's coronation, Jijabai breathed her last in 1674. She devoted her entire life for Swaraj, obeisance to God, for setting a personified example of what an ideal Indian woman should be like in the form of Rajmata Jijabai. Jijamata had multifaceted qualities like intense yearning for freedom, faith, determination, patience, sense of respect towards her dharma, selflessness, warrior attitude, broad-mindedness, fearlessness, leadership, courage, war strategies, sacrificing attitude. What else you want in a woman? We wish that all women today develop these qualities and these abilities. Namaskar. Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji.
Muchas gracias a la doctora Srimati Das por esta interesante plática. Tenemos ahora una presentación por Guru Vidwan Sujay Shambhag, quien es el administrador de Kala Sujaya, una organización sin fines de lucro dedicada al arte en Karnataka, India. Él y sus talentosos estudiantes reunieron el valor de Shivaji Maharaj y lo representan en una forma de danza, Bharatanatyam. Disfrutémoslo.
पुण्यात माऊली येथे ससावली गडकोट रावळी शिवशंकर हा मुक्तीची मंत्रणा युक्तीची यंत्रणा गळदुष्ट दुर्जना प्रलयंकर हा
सृष्टांचा रक्षितो शत्रूनी खंदतो भावंड भावना संस्थापितो ऐसा युगे युगे स्मरणीय सर्वदा माता पिता सखा शिवभूपतो
दंड कर चीता मृगशुंड पर भूषण वितुंड पर जैसे मृगराज है
तेजतम अंश पर कन्याचिमी कंस पर धूमलिच्छ वंश पर शेर शिवराज है
जय भवानी जय भवानी जय शिवाजी जय शिवाजी जय भवानी जय भवानी जय शिवाजी जय शिवाजी
तो कन्नम ता तथि ततो धनम ता तकिटधि तकिटतो तकिटनम तकिटता तकिटधि तकिटतो तकिटन तकिटता तकिटतो तकिटतो तकिटन तकिटता
इंद्रियात माऊली रे सावली गडकोट रावळी शिवशंकर हा युक्तीची मंत्रणा युक्तीची यंत्रणा गळदुष्ट दुर्जना प्रलयंकर हा
संस्थांचं रक्षितो शत्रूनी खंदतो भावंड भावना संस्थापितो ऐसा युगे युगे स्मरणीय सर्वदा माता पिता सखा शिवभूपतो
दंड कर चीता मृगशुंड पर भूषण वितुंड पर जैसे मृगराज है
तेजतम अंश पर कन्याजिनी कंस पर धूमलिच्छ वंश पर सैन शिवराज है
जय भवानी जय भवानी जय शिवाजी जय शिवाजी जय भवानी जय भवानी जय शिवाजी जय शिवाजी
Namaste, I am Sujay Shanbhag, Managing Trustee of Kala Sujaya, the Temple of Indian Classical Arts from Hubballi and Bangalore, Karnataka, India. It gives me an immense pleasure to be part of this great celebration at Mexico City. My heartfelt gratitude to His Excellence, Ambassador of India to Mexico, Dr. Pankaj Sharma ji, and Dr. Srimati Das, Director, Gurudev Tagore, Indian Cultural Center, Mexico City. I'm glad that you gave this wonderful opportunity to convey our gratitude to the great hero of the history, Shri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Hope you all enjoy this presentation. Namaste.
Muchas gracias. Invito nuevamente a la doctora Srimati Das a este escenario para que haga la conclusión del programa.
So thank you very much for gracing this very auspicious occasion. And we really loved doing this from Embassy of India and GTICC, the team of GTICC. A lot of efforts have gone into it because for the first time we were doing an event on Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Actually, we were lost. We didn't know what to do. And thank you, Ambassador Sir, for guiding me in doing this event in this such systematic manner. Thank you for coming. Your presence makes all the difference to us. Jai Bhavani. Jai Shivaji. We have got some sweets to distribute. Today is a coronation day, so you can take some motichur laddus and you can go home. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ambassadors. I would request the youngest artist of this show to come to the stage and accept it in the hands of the ambassador. Okay, I request the mother to come at least. Okay, the president of IMA can take it.
Thank you all. Thank you, staff.